Controller versus processors in GDPR. In today's interconnected business environment, most organizations cannot process its personal data entirely on its own. Cloud platforms, payroll providers, marketing tools, CRM system, every external services you use create GDPR obligations that must be understood and managed. So what is the difference between controllers and processors? What responsibilities each one carries? What must be included in the contract. How to avoid common mistakes that lead GDPR violations. Let's get started. Processors and controllers. Defining the key roles. Data controllers. Article 47. The controllers decide why personal data is processed and how it will be processed. They decide what data is collected, how long it will kept, who can access it. Processors handle data on behalf of controller. They do not decide the purpose or the essential means. They follow the controller's instruction and act in the controller's interest. Determining roles can get complicated, especially when multiple parties contribute their processing activities. The European Data Protection Board guidelines provide detailed criteria and examples. They are gold standard when you need clarity. Controllers make big decisions: what data to collect, why, how long to keep it, which vendor to use, and what lawful basis applies. They carry primary GDPR accountability. Processors act on controllers' instructions. They don't choose purpose, they cannot repurpose data, have limited defined obligations. And under Article 2810, if processors start deciding the purpose or essential means, they instantly become a controller for that activity with full legal responsibility. So clear role definitions are not optional, they are essential to staying compliant. Article 28.1 requires controller to use only processors that can prove they have strong technical and organizational measures. That means real due diligence, not choosing vendor based on cost or convenience. Controllers must check the processor's security posture, policies, instant responses, certification like ISO 27001, audit reports, and overall reliability. The higher the sensitivity or the volume of data, the higher the bar. Due diligence is ongoing, not one and done. Controllers must reassess processes. You can outsource processing, but you cannot outsource accountability. The controller is still responsible if the processors fail. Processors' direct obligations under GDPR. GDPR gave processors direct legal obligation for the first time. They are not longer responsible only through contracts. They can be investigated and fined in their own right. The core processor duties, mainly in Article 28.3, are: follow documented instructions only. Processing must happen strictly according to controller's written direction. Ensure confidentiality. Anyone handling the data must bound by confidentiality obligation. Implement Article 32 security measures. No promises. Actual technical and organizational measures. Encryption, integrity, resilience, testing, recovery. Follow the rules for subprocessors. No subcontracting without proper authorization and equivalent protections. Assist with data subject rights. Processor must help controllers to respond access, deletion, rectification, and other rights. Assist with Article 32 to 36. This included breach handling and notification and DPIAs. Processors often hold the technical details controllers need. Report breaches to the controller without undue delay. Delete and return data at the end of contract. No keeping copies unless required by law. Maintain their own processing records. Document categories of processing, transfer, security measures. These obligations directly applies to processors. Regulators can audit them, order corrective actions, and fine them independently of controller. Mandatory written contract requirement. Article 28.3 is the one of the most important part of GDPR. It does not just require a contract. It dictates exactly what that contract must contain. Every requirement is mandatory. The subject matter and duration of processing, what the processor is doing and for how long, the nature and purpose of processing, what kind of processing is happening and why, the type of personal data and categories of data subject, the controller's right and obligations, audit rights, breach notification rights, and ability to issue instructions, and controller duty to give lawful instructions. All processors' obligations. This includes processing only on documented instructions. Staff confidentiality, Article 32 security measures, rules for sub-processors, assistance with data subject rights, assistance with security, breach notification, and DPIAs, deletion or return to data subject at contract, and audit cooperation. Article 28.9 also requires the contract in writing, including electronic forms. Anything informal, a handshake, a verbal agreement, or incomplete email chain fails GDPR, and failing to have proper Article 28.3 contract is itself GDPR violation. That's why most organizations now use Standardized Data Processing Agreement (DPA). Processors need a solid DPA templates. Controller must review every processor's DPA to ensure all mandatory terms are present. Working with subprocessors. Processors often rely on subprocessor for delivery services. For example, a SaaS provider using a cloud host who uses a data center. All of them ultimately process data for the original controller. GDPR sets strict rules in Article 28.2 and 28.4. A processor cannot use subprocessor without the controller's written authorization. There are two authorization models. Specific authorization. Controllers approve each subprocessor individually. General authorization. Controllers pre-approve but must be notified of any additions or changes and can object. If the controller objects, the processors must avoid using that subprocessor or the controller may terminate the contract. Flow down requirement Article 24.8. All GDPR applications in the controller processor contract must be passed down to every subprocessor. Same security, same duties, same standards. If a subprocessor fails, the processor remains fully liable to the controller. The controller never changes the subprocessor. For example, controller holds the payroll processor liable. The processor then seeks resources from cloud provider. Processors must choose subprocessors carefully because they inherit the risk and liability. Article 82 sets the GDPR liability and compensation rules. This is where GDPR gets financially serious. Controllers' reliability. Controllers are liable for any damage caused by GDPR, infringing processing, legal basis failure, security lapses, right violation, transparency issue, anything. Damage includes material harm, financial loss, identity theft, and non-material harms, distress, reputational damage, loss of control. Controllers are presumed liable unless they can prove they were not responsible. This burden of proof is on them, not the data subject. Processors' liability. Processors are liable only when they fail to meet processors' specific GDPR duties or they act outside or against the controller's instruction. If they follow GDPR and controller's lawful instruction, they are not liable for controller's mistake. But again, they must prove they were not responsible. Joint liability. If multiple parties are involved, each can be held liable for the full damage. The data subject can claim everything from controller or processor. Internal resources. Whoever pays can recover the appropriate share from the other responsible parties. This ensures victims are compensated quickly while responsibility is sorted out afterward. This framework creates strong incentive for both controller and processors to take GDPR seriously. The financial exposure fines, compensations, reputational harms can be enormous. It falls in controller processor relationship. Role confusion. Processors using data for their own purpose become controller. Article 28.10. Misleading joint controllership. If both parties decide why and how data is processed, they are joint controllers, not controller or processor. Missing or incomplete contract. A clause like processor will comply with applicable law is not enough. All Article 28.3 terms must be included. Incomplete processing instructions. Process data as necessary to provide service is too broad. Instructions must be specified what data, for what purpose, and for how long. Subprocessor rules. Contract must clearly stated whether authorization is specific or general and how objections work. No data return or deletion term. End of contract obligation must be explicitly delete, return, retain, and under what conditions? Using processors without a written DPA, shadow IT, credit card, SaaS signups, and information informal vendor use is GDPR violation. Adding sub-processors without approval. Processors must get controllers authorization before onboarding any sub-processor. Inadequate security measures. Article 32 requires security appropriate the risk, especially for sensitive or large-scale data. Late or missing breach notification. Processors must notify controllers without undue delay, not after a full investigation, not assisting with data subject rights. Processors must support access, deletion, correction, and portability requests. Most failure comes from improper documentation and incomplete agreement. GDPR requires clarity and written evidence, not informal understanding. Let's take a quick example. An online retailer uses cloud provider to store customer data. The retailer decides what data to collect and why. so they are controller. The cloud providers just store it under instruction, so they are processors. Before using the provider, the retailer must do due diligence, checking security, certification, reputation, and breach history. They sign up a DPA covering all Article 28.3 requirements: what data is processed, what purpose, how long, and all processor duties like security, confidentiality, sub-processors rule, breach support, and deletion at the end. The cloud provider may use sub-processor, but only with the retailer's authorization. All GDPR obligations must be flow down and the cloud provider stays liable for them. During the relationship, the providers must report breaches without undue delay and help with data subject rights. At contract end, they must return or delete all data. If breach happens due to weak security, both parties can be liable under Article 82, and whoever pays can recover costs from the party at fault. This shows how GDPR works in practice: roles, due diligence, contracts, sub-processors, operations, and liability. Essential points to remember: define roles clearly. Controllers decides why, how data is processed. Processors act only on instructions. Written contracts are mandatory. A proper Article 28 contract is required every time. Article 28.3 terms are required. Every DPA must include scope, purpose, data type, data subject, and full processor's obligations. Sub-processors need authorization. Controller must approve them, and all obligations must flow down. Processors stay fully liable. Liabilities differs. Controllers liable for any GDPR infringing processing. Processors are liable when they break processor duties or act outside the restriction. Controllers must do due diligence. They must verify processors, offer sufficient guarantees, and keep both monitoring. Processors must stay in their lane. If they decide purpose or means, they become controllers. Accountability is ongoing. Both parties can be audited, investigated, and fined at any time.